Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Welcome to Beyond Boardroom Business. I am thrilled to announce the next person that's going to be interviewed on this episode, and it is Gerald Rose. He is the founder and the president of the New Order National Human Rights Organization. I've known this gentleman for years, and I've always had a challenge remembering the name, but his movement is so powerful. And I'm telling you, you are going to enjoy this interview because he is all over the country, and it takes time to slow him down to find out what's going on now. Who else is he saving? Because he is definitely saving lives, and I am honored to bring him on. So please help me welcome Mr. Gerald Rose. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So we're going to get started by trying to understand who is the person behind the organization, behind the movement, behind everything that's going on. Before we even talk about your honored father, let's get to know who you are. So please, who is Gerald Rose?
Well, before I get started, I'd like to give my New Order family a shout out because it's not I, but we. Without them, I couldn't do this interview. You know, I have a very wonderful and dedicated team members across this country, so I must give them a shout out first. So thank you, New Order family. My name is Gerald Rose. I'm originally from Ohio. It was not easy. I'm the son of Reverend Floyd Rose, who was a major icon civil rights activist that did all the work in Ohio. Growing up, my house and church was put on fire. That death threat calls came to my house. Minister Farrakhan been in my church, Dick Gregory, Al Sharpton. A lot of politicians used to come by our house all the time. So I was born into this civil rights. So back in 1992, two of my best friends got killed execution style. And then God said, it's your time to get to work. So I got to work and started doing stuff in the community.
Wow. So how did it feel when you finally came to the realization that this is my turn and I'm going to make an impact because everything is falling into your hands to do it?
Well, when I first left Ohio, came to Georgia, it was kind of rough because no one knew who I was. You know, this little old Gerald Rose down here trying to do stuff in the community. But when I met the late Joseph Lowry and the late Jose Williams, I told them what I was and what did I do. They said, you're in the perfect city because this is the birthplace of Dr. King and civil rights movement. So that kind of encouraged me. So what I did, I started recruiting people, you know, letting them know, you know, what I was about or whatever. I'm not perfect, but I take this business very seriously, you know, and things like that. So my very first case was in Cobb County.
Wow.
A teacher called two students the N-word. Another thing that a Mayor Dunaway told the only black city councilman in Marietta to be quiet like a tar baby at a city council meeting. And then a little girl got suspended with a Tweety bird chain in Cobb County. And little old me, I addressed the issue. I called a press conference in front of the King Center. You know, I was very nervous. And I got results on all three issues. I got the teacher suspended. I got the Mayor Dunaway, had him apologize on national TV for calling him a tar baby. And I got the little girl back in school with the Tweety bird chain situation. You know, so, and I was like, man, I can do this in Atlanta, Georgia. I can do this, you know, so I was very proud of myself, you know, and ever since then, I've been off and running, you know, and the movement has been down here for a minute. New Order has been recognized by the state of Georgia in 2003 by the Georgia Black Caucus. I received several awards, you know. Many years I've been doing this here in Georgia, and I always tell my dad, I said, Dad, you was the man in Toledo, Ohio, but your son is on a nationwide movement. He just started laughing.
That's true. That's beautiful. That's beautiful that he passed you the torch, you know, the baton.
Correct. That is correct. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Now
So,
he's
so
a
how
hard
did,
shoes to fill now, but just the fact that there'll never be another Reverend Floyd Rose. But I could tell you that I am doing great things, awesome things, but I'm not doing it by myself. I got help.
that's right. Now, please tell us more about your father.
Oh wow! You
Yeah.
you know now you know how they go live from Ebenezer Church during the Martin Luther King program and stuff. They
Yes.
did my dad like that in Ohio. My dad portrayed Martin Luther King. Matter of
Oh,
fact, the original movie with Paul Winfield, my dad went out for that part, but unfortunately he didn't got it. He got Paul Winfield played that part. Remember the original Dr. King movie that came out back in the day?
oh
Yeah, my
yeah.
dad went out for that. Yes, he went out for that. But my dad, wow, he's a father first, but he's a major icon in Toledo. I mean, you might not have heard of him, but the national activists have heard of my dad. Cynthia McKinney, former congresswoman, loves
Hmm.
my dad. She used to go down there and visit my dad all the time, and things like that. Al Sharpton, they'll call the house. Farrakhan came to my church. It's just amazing that I was born into this. Now, my brothers and sisters are not like me. It
Okay.
just it actually it fell on me. It rubbed off on me, and I never thought I'd be doing it because I was really into sports growing up. I played, even though I'm a little short, I played basketball. I never thought I'd be doing the legacy of the work that he started, and things like that. But I remember back in the day, we led a march in a place called Swanton, Ohio, which is a racist town. What happened was an off-duty white officer shot a 9-year-old kid for throwing a rock inside his pool. And my
Wow.
dad led a march in this place called Rossford, Ohio, and it was like they say you inward, you go back to where you belong and all that. So someone turned around and burnt down the officer's house because of the peer pressure we put on the officer. And then what happened was we started getting death threat calls. So a police officer had to stay in front of our house for like 30 days straight. I mean, I
Wow.
went through stuff like that. That's why none of this stuff phases me now. The only one I fear is the man above, but don't no man and woman phase me because I done went through a lot of what I've seen of him.
Yeah.
That's really
Wow.
where I get my encouragement.
I see. Is that what inspired your father to start it all?
Oh yeah, he told me when he was a kid, a lady was on a bus, and the lady asked could he use she asked can she stop the bus? I gotta use the bathroom, sir. And it was a white bus driver, and she said, you N-word, you sit down. And my son went up there, and I'm sorry, my dad went up there and said, hey, this young lady got to use the bathroom. And he called him the N-word and all that. And after that, he'd been off and running. That's when he was a kid. He told me that
Wow.
story. Yeah,
Wow.
he
That
told me
is,
that story.
yeah, that's a natural leader. If he didn't do it for anything other than that's beautiful. That's
Right.
beautiful.
That was my role model, my father first. He provided for the family, and at the same time, he provided for the community as well.
Mm. Yeah, because a lot of leaders I've heard neglect their
Hmm.
family, and he was able to incorporate the family as well. Now that's special.
But he did travel a lot. I can always say my mom, she
Okay.
she she was the one that really held down the family because my dad was gone a lot, even especially discipline, like whoopings and stuff. I didn't never
See.
got a whooping from my dad, but my mom didn't play. She did the whooping in the house. I remember back in
Yeah.
the day when I slapped the principal in the
Ooh.
third grade. Yes, which
Oh
the
my
principal made
goodness.
me eat something I didn't want to eat, and my dad came up to the school and said, "Hey, okay, you want to show out?" So he whooped me in front of everybody in front of the school. But when my mom got me at home, whooped me again. She was very heavy-handed. She didn't play. I want her to rest. She's no longer with me right now. Rest in peace. She's been deceased since '89, but I could tell you, she's looking down and seeing her baby son doing some great work in the community.
Oh yeah. They did a marvelous job making sure that the future can continue on with genuine people that are helping society. So thank you for that.
Right. No
Yeah.
problem. No problem. No problem.
So let me ask you this: how do
Mhm.
you define nonviolence?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a Dr. King fan growing up, but I'm more like a Malcolm X,
Okay.
So I'm not gonna turn the other cheek if I get hit.
Man,
I
I think
can't do that.
those days are over. I
Right.
can't.
I know my dad followed Gandhi real tough and Dr. King, but the more I started seeing what's going on, I kind of switched over to Malcolm X. And I can tell you, I love the Nation of Islam. They actually provide security for me when I do travel across
Oh
this
wow.
country. Anywhere I go, the Nation of Islam is there.
Oh wow. That's
And that's,
wonderful.
yeah, and they also got me in a wall of fame at their Mosque 15B on Camilton Road. They got me hanging up there with Muhammad Ali and all these big legacies people. I'm like, wow. I said, why me? He said, why not? He said, because
That's
you're
right.
doing the work for our people, for the community. And Minister Sharif looks out for me all the time. And Minister Sharif is the Southeast Regional Director here in Atlanta that Faircon reports to him every time he comes to Atlanta.
Okay. Wow. So
Yeah.
so what's going on now in society that your organization is having to assist?
What ain't going on? We just completed a case in Athens, Georgia, where a white teacher choked out a black student, and the black student was kicked out of school, and he was the victim. But what happened was the teacher, he put so much noise on it, he got charged with aggravated assault.
Mm,
And we just got the good news on that. So I was in Athens, Georgia, hitting the grind and all that. Had a press conference that we're demanding charges for this teacher. We just got a call today in Texas where a young man was found dead in his jail cell.
mm.
Yeah, we got a call. We get calls daily, So our legal department stays busy. But what we do, we take cases. We go off facts, not emotion. That's
Nice.
very important. We have facts before we take a case. I
Right.
went out to Texas, did some things. I'm on my way actually to California as well as we speak. Things get set up,
Okay.
and things like that. So God is good. In fact, this is serious work. And I ask everybody kind of pray for me, because when you're doing human rights, a lot of people don't really accept what's going on. A lot of people I have a lot of haters. But that's the line of the work. My dad always talking about when they talking about you, you're doing so. When they not talking about you, you ain't doing nothing. Believe me, people be talking about me.
Mm, mm, mm. So what are they hating on? Why do you have haters?
Well, Dr. King had haters back in the day, Malcolm X, and it'd be your own people. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand that, it's your own people that hate on you. And things.
Well,
They talk about you, they make up rumors about you. But if I'm gonna tell you right now, my dad said, if you're very sensitive, this is the wrong business to be into. If you
mm,
can't accept criticism,
right,
you know what
right.
I'm saying? And things like that. So I get a lot of criticism, but as long as I continue to put God first
Yeah.
and He's my leader, I don't fear no man or woman on this earth. So I always listen to Him. He always say what case to take and not case. Back in 2007, I was the only organization spoke publicly and had a rally for Michael Vick in 2007 when he was convicted of dogfighting. Now, I wasn't supporting dogfighting. I was supporting a black man deserve a second chance. And he made a
Right.
major mistake. And he was the number one black athlete paid during that time. And Peter went after me. He said, you support this dog killer and this and that or whatever. I said, first of all, he done served his time.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I wrote Michael Vick a letter every week. And I'm going to tell you how God worked. I said, as long as you made your mistake, you admit to God, you made a mistake, your life will turn around. The man got out and signed another $100 million contract. You remember that?
Yes.
Now, and in my, I was thinking this is going to come. Everybody was like, Gerald, don't be, that's stupid. He done messed up. I said, watch what's going to happen. His life is going to turn around because, first of all, he admitted to God he was wrong. So what happened was he came in town. He came to Gwinnett County to sign some autographs. I never met him in person, but I was like, Gerald Rose, New Order. like, that sounds like that organization was standing up for me while I was incarcerated. Gerald Rose from New Order, and he had security. He said, he's pulled the security, said, hey, I need to talk to this young man. He pulled me up, and he started shedding the tears. He said, bro, you probably the only one publicly didn't give up on me. I appreciate all what you did. And I will never forget that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a chance for Black men to come together? Because there are a lot of things out here to keep you all apart. So like you said, it's us that's tearing us apart. How can we bond together, in your opinion?
And that is a good question. I don't have all the answers, but I do try. Basically, what we do, I remember we had the program going on at the Auburn Avenue Museum. We used to take young kings and queens down there to let them know that what schools are not telling them, hey, you come from kings and queens, and that we taught them the real Black history that they was not being taught in school, in the public schools, you know, and things like. So we tried to go down there and teach them and all that. We can't save the world, but I could tell you that program did work. We're going to get that back up and running. You know, as soon as things get together, we just all over the place right now. We're just real busy, but we got to get to our young people and let them know, hey, they're going to be somebody someday. Matter of fact, tonight at 7 o'clock, I'm scheduled to be at Georgia Works, where I go in and do motivational speaking to some people that's on papers or on their way to prison or just getting out of prison. Let them know, don't give up. You know, you could be somebody someday. Right now, God got you going through a transitional situation in your life right now. So I always do motivational speaking, encourage our brothers, always.
Wow. I
Oh, of course. I like to be proactive instead of being reactive. If you know, I'm trying to get to the problem for the problem gets to you.
That's right.
But I would love you can come out and speak. That's no problem.
Okay. I'm definitely there for the next one.
So
looking into the future, what is your vision for the legacy of your organization?
Well, hopefully, I could pass along this to my grandson or my son, because you know I'm going to be old one day, and I just hope that the organization will continue.
Oh wow! So hopefully he can get back on. He was in the middle of traveling across the country, and so he took the time to stop and be interviewed by me. I'm Coach Stephanie. I don't think I mentioned that. This is Beyond a Boardroom Business with Coach Stephanie. And that's Stephanie with 2 F's for Feeling Fabulous. I'm going to give him another minute or two to join us. If not, then I will cut it short because I did get the gist of who he is and about his organization and the wonderful things he has done and that he continues to do. This is beautiful because it's all about finding trailblazers. And that's my mission, to find trailblazers and leaders and to get them on this podcast so we can learn about who they are and why they do what they do. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this down because it's about that time. So thank you all for joining Beyond Boardroom Business. Again, I'm Coach Stephanie, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Please feel free to subscribe and share this information with your family and your friends. And if you know anyone who is worthy of being interviewed on this podcast, please feel free to reach out to me, Coach Stephanie. And that's Coach Stephanie with 2 F's, CoachStephanie.com. And let's go ahead and make some things happen. So until the next time we see each other or you hear me, stay motivated, stay inspired, and stay curious. Thank you all so much and hope you have an amazing rest of your day.